The biggest mistake people make is not following their true passion and what excites you, and just follow that and follow that and follow that and follow that. That's like the main purpose of life, is just to follow the excitement, follow the passion, and then you will always be provided for.
Thank you so much for coming, Jake. I saw you on my Explore feeds. You're like going viral. I feel like you dive deep into the knowledge of how we're creating our reality, but you say it in such like unique and profound ways that are so impactful. And so I shared one of your videos about that we chose our parents, and I sent it to my parents, and then she sent it, my mom sent it to her mom, and then it was a whole thing. So I want to dive first into that. Can you go through why do we choose our parents?
Yeah. That's a question that will definitely trigger some people. Yeah, I mean, the main thing is that during this time we're like going through a mass awakening as a planet and as a consciousness as a whole. And so we are coming down, so we're souls that incarnate into human bodies, and we come down onto the planet during this time to break like karma. And so us as souls, our like main objective as a human being or as a soul is to evolve. And so we choose to go down into situations to evolve. And so if we see parents that have like trauma to break free from, or we as a soul need to learn how to like truly love ourselves, we'll incarnate into a family where we have parents that pass down traumas that don't cause us to be able to fully love ourselves. And then we go through the process of breaking that cycle, because our soul's true goal and path is to be able to evolve. And so we do that through experiencing trauma, pain, suffering. And so that's why we choose like the family that we're born into.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I've thought about this a lot when because if it's hard for people to imagine that they chose this problem that they're going through. Like, I would never choose this. I would just want an easier life. But then when you really think about it, and if you were born and everything was just perfect and everything was just fine, like where would your motivation come from, and like your passion and excitement to like get up or feel like you are encouraged to want more? If everything's just you'd kind of just be like, all right, what's the purpose of life?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's Earth school.
Yeah.
Like if we came down here and there wasn't anything to heal from, there wasn't anything to experience and go through, like there wouldn't really be a point of this. So that's why we choose to do it.
And then it's crazy that we don't want to feel these pains, but then the whole purpose is to feel the pains that we have, right? So go into that.
Yeah. Well, we're human beings. And so the part of being here in this realm is that we have a mind and we have an ego. And the ego that is developed, it wants to keep us safe. And so pain and trauma isn't really something that the ego wants to feel. It doesn't want to go through that. It wants to be comfortable. It wants to be safe. And so that is why when we're like faced with this pain in our lives, we don't really want to face it. It's hard. And we want to stay in a comfortable spot. But you have the human that's like, I want to be safe. I want to be comfortable. But you have the soul is always going to win. And so the soul is like, it's bringing you towards that. It's like, we need to go through this. You chose that. It's just now you're a human being and you want to be comfortable and you want to be safe. Like, that's why you feel that way now.
And I think you had a video talking about how we're constantly like numbing ourselves, right?
Yes.
So that would be an example of our soul knows that we have like a calling, but then a lot of us choose to numb it. So,
right? Yeah. Like depression, anxiety, those things that we deal with, we cope with them through drugs, alcohol, sex, porn, all these different ways that we cope with it. And it's really just a disconnection from our soul. It's like we are fighting what is inevitable.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's so true. Yeah. So it's like when we sit with ourselves and we're really with ourselves, and that's why meditation's so powerful, and these things that strengthen our inner voice, it kind of shows you that like your gut knowing that this isn't aligned with me, maybe this relationship isn't aligned, or this work isn't aligned, or something. It's like your soul deep down knows your path, but we're just fearful and we want to stay comfortable. But then things will come up where depression, anxiety, things that show you're out of alignment, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're always going to get checked. Like there's, I mean, at least in my life, like there's moments where it's like really blissful and peaceful and all that. And those moments are beautiful, but we didn't really come here to just be in pure bliss and pure peace all the time. Like there's duality and we have to experience it all. And so, yeah, we bring ourselves into these places of peace and stillness, and then there's always going to be the next thing to evolve from. And so, yeah, we get checked over and over again.
And what's interesting is once you start healing, you feel like there's like an end goal to get to, but there really is like no end goal, right?
No, there's not. There's not an end goal. Like this I mean, as a soul, it's infinite. And so as a human, we can try to like comprehend that there's some end goal that we get to. But then when you get to that point, there's just the next thing. And that's truly why we choose to live life, is because there's a really good book, Conversations with God. And it just talks about how like we incarnate into a human body to see our soul's truest expression, and there's no limitation to that. So like once you reach one point, there's just going to be the next point. It's not like you get to this one place and it's like, all right, you're done. Like that doesn't happen here.
And that's what makes it so beautiful, right? Because then if you get to the end, you're like, all right, now what?
Yeah, exactly. What would you do then?
Yeah, you freak out.
Yeah.
Okay, so along this journey, there's all these different like teachings that we have in this game of life. One of them being another point you touch on, which is our romantic and intimate partners. And I saw a video where you're like, they should trigger the hell out of you.
Yes.
So let's go into that. Because people don't think that. They think that it needs to just be simple with the person that they're supposed to be with.
Yeah. And yeah, we could go into that a lot. Like I work with this really amazing somatic therapist, and we go like really deep into conversation. And yeah, she just always talks about how like we truly heal through relationship. And there's a lot of unhealthy relationships. Like I really can't name that many like healthy relationships that I see.
No, it's sad.
Yeah. And
So crazy.
it is crazy. And it's because we truly need to heal in relationship. Like I know that for myself, like a avoidant pattern is like, oh, it would just be way easier if I just did this by myself. And going into that pattern, and people have avoidant and attachment patterns, and people just live that out really. But what we're meant to do is in our relationships, that is the ultimate way to heal. Because like when God created the universe and all that is, it did it because it needed to know itself. If I'm just alone, I can't truly know myself. I need something to reflect back to me. And so that is what we're doing in relationship, is that we are God experiencing ourselves. And so we need that reflection. And so your partner should trigger you because it's revealing to you the work that is still needed to be done. And so it's our job to meet that, and to also not be in relationships that are toxic and all that. Like if you're in that, that's a whole nother thing. But it's truly like if you are in alignment with yourself and you get into a relationship, your partner is going to continuously reveal to you where there's still room to heal. And you do that together. And another like topic is that like sacred union is the most ecstasy spiritual experience that we can truly have. Like that is something that could help heal our world. So if we're in alignment with one another and we go into that space together and we heal together, the place that we can get to in sacred union as far as like awakening and our spiritual evolution is so much higher than we could ever do alone.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, there's so much to unpack here. I want to start with, how does someone know the difference between a toxic relationship that's triggering them or like a growth relationship that's triggering them?
It's really just the place that you got into the relationship from. Is like, did you get into this relationship from a place of like, I need love, so let me go find someone to truly love me so that I can love myself? Well, that's like an anxious attachment, and you're trying to get something outside of yourself. Yeah, it's just all the place. Like, did you come into the relationship in a place where you were aligned and like this truly felt good in your body and your soul guided it to you and it just like kind of magically happened? Or was there resistance? Was there pain? Like you knew it you will know from the beginning if the relationship is toxic or it's truly meant for you. You'll feel it in your body.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just all the place that we get into the relationship from.
Yeah, that's so true. And then one thing I was thinking about the other day too, and because I had a relationship previously that was really triggering, and I know I triggered him too. And I was like, I think that what it made me realize, one of the lessons I learned is like the right person is just willing to evolve with you, right? Because you can get triggered and then retract and be like, oh, I can't deal with this because it's bringing up stuff in yourself that's like very uncomfortable that you might have to face. But the right person's just going to be like, okay, I don't love this, but let's figure it out. You're making me feel like jealousy or insecurity or whatever is coming up for that person with you. You're making me feel these ways. I know that they're not what I want to be or how I should feel. So like, why am I feeling this way? Or like, let's talk through it. And it's just about healthy communication through these triggers, right? Because they're going to come up.
Yeah.
It's just about how you go about them.
Yeah. Communication is absolutely key. Like that is how, and very honest communication.
Exactly.
Yeah. I had this talk with my somatic therapist last week of like how there's, women know this better than I do, but there's so many things happening with the planets and Saturn and all these things.
Yes.
And it's like about like very honest communication during these times. So that's an aspect of it. And yeah, communication is what we need to be able to heal in relationships, because if we hold anything in, then my partner is not going to be able to see what they need to see, and I won't be able to move through what I'm meant to move through. And then that just gets stored, and then that creates resentment, that creates anger. So we need to be able to communicate. Like, I know that in my relationship, like, it's wild the amount that comes up. Like, it's like you move through one thing and then it's okay, there's the next thing. And I like feel this pull continuously of like, here's the next thing to talk about. Here's the next thing to work through. And at times I'm like, fuck, like just, I just went through that thing and now I have this next thing. So yeah, it's just, when your soul is ready to evolve, communication in relationships is absolutely needed.
That's so cool that you're saying this, because my sister's in that same dynamic, and like they're both like they have like no shadow of a doubt that they're the one for each other. They're like, I just know. And so they're probably gonna get married and stuff. But anyways, it's the same dynamic you just said. There's constantly a new thing to work on.
Yeah.
But it's like they communicate it very well. So like, for an example, one time, just for anyone listening, like, what's a healthy example of communicating properly? One night, like I have this event that I do for my company all the time, and one of the nights, this guy like put his arm around my sister and then he was just like very uncomfortable because like, who is this guy or whatever. It made him feel very uncomfortable. But then he's like, well, maybe they work with them. I don't want to cause a scene, whatever. So when he went home, he kind of held it in for a little bit, but then he talked to her the next day. He's like, hey, made me feel really disrespected. This came up for me. I just felt like I wasn't respected in that moment and so forth. And then my sister's like, oh, wow, I'd never want you to feel like I don't respect you. And then you just communicate those things. And like, yeah, for some men, it's embarrassing to say that you feel insecure or disrespected or whatever is coming up. It might feel uncomfortable to be vulnerable for a lot of men. But that's like the most powerful thing you can do, because it brings you guys so much closer. Yeah. And then it creates like the stability within your relationship where you're like, we can go through anything, because life throws a lot at you. And if you guys can't work through those things, like, how are you going to survive?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. I know that when I went into my relationship, like a lot of inner child stuff started coming up. And in the past, I was in relationships where I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel comfortable to share those things. I didn't have a partner that could truly like hold me in that. And that's also me attracting that person into my life to experience that.
Yes.
And then having a partner where it's like anything that I'm feeling is welcomed to share. And that was a whole rewriting of narratives for me. And like, I can share that and I can be safe in that. And then that just creates this beautiful foundation where it's like anything is welcome.
Yes.
Like anything. And then when you're in that stage, like it creates so much safety. And then what you can experience in a relationship is beautiful.
Exactly. And it's like, what are we doing in any other type of relationship than that? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's crazy, but people don't realize that's a thing. That's like, that exists.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the whole purpose of life. We should get to that and not settle for anything less.
Yeah.
But I think it's very tough for people that, you know, because I've been in this situation, so I think that there might be others have. It's like you can see that someone can get there or learn how to connect on that level or share. I feel like this more with as a woman. There's a lot of men that they don't feel safe to be emotionally vulnerable and like share those parts of themselves. So my biggest lesson was learning when, okay, I'm like, now I'm giving myself like too much of me trying to fix this and help them get there. But I'm like not a teacher. I'm like sacrificing my own needs to help them learn how to share. And so that's been tough for me to be like, okay, it's not my job.
Yeah. 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 That's the, and so it's like what within you feels that you need to be that that person. Yes.
That's what, and then when, that was the part you said, you're like, which means I also attracted a partner that couldn't hold me in that way.
Exactly.
And then I dug with that. And then, so that was coming up a lot in my last relationship. Then it's okay. I didn't feel as much with my father that I can open up and that he really saw the real me. So I constantly was fighting for him to like see my heart, and because he'd just be very strict and was like, you're being like, this is wrong. He wouldn't be like, well, why'd you do that? You know, or try to understand. And that's why I'm like, wow, we need to know this stuff before we raise kids.
Yeah.
But he was just strict on his way, never trying to understand me fully. So then I was constantly trying to fight to prove like, I am good. Like, come on, you can share, and like trying to connect so much when my dad wasn't someone that was emotionally available fully.
Yeah.
So then that was my lesson.
Yeah.
There's always a lesson.
There's a lesson in every single thing at every moment.
Yes.
Like a little off topic, but like I came here to California and I thought this was a trip for like doing podcasts and going to this event. And then like last night I go to the Airbnb. I think it's a nice Airbnb. It wasn't a nice Airbnb. I got terrible sleep, and then the rental car didn't work. And I'm like, I was on the beach and I'm like, like, oh, I thought I was coming here for this. And this is actually what I'm dealing with. And like, this is actually what I came here for, was to like move through these things. And like, yes, I get to be in like winning awards and things like that. And that's an aspect of it. But there's always a lesson in every single thing.
So what was your lesson for this? I'm curious.
It was just to really like welcome in what I truly want. Because last night, like I went to the rental car place and I chose one rental car, and then I went into the rental car and I saw like, I drive a Jeep back home and my partner drives a Jeep, and I always say like, I'm never driving anything other than a Jeep. And then I look over when I get the rental car and there's a Jeep there, and I was like, I want that. But then there was a part of me that was like, you know what, try something new. And then I woke up this morning, I was like, no, I want the Jeep. And so I went and did that. And then I like, to respect my partners and finances, I got the place that was a little bit cheaper, and then I'm dealing with a bed that I don't like. And so it's just like, go towards let go, trust, and really accept what it is that I truly desire and what I truly want. And I get to choose that.
That's so powerful. A lot of people settle.
Yes.
That's a big piece. And honestly, the more you choose what you really like want, the universe kind of helps build things around you and aligns with you, right? Like it works itself out.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we are always provided for when we just follow what it is that we truly desire. like Bashar. Do you know who Bashar is? Okay, he's like a channeler and pretty well known for it, but he always talks about how like just all that there is just follow your ultimate passion and what excites you, and just follow that and follow that and follow that and follow that. That's like the main purpose of life, is just to follow the excitement, follow the passion, and then you will always be provided for.
Yeah.
And so if we don't follow that, then that's when we run into like these blockages and things.
Yeah, because it's like we're driving down a street and then we don't follow it. It's like moving us back, moving us back. That's so cool. And I guess then it comes down to we don't follow it fully because we don't feel good enough to have it a lot of times if it feels so amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I know I went off topic for a moment, but like that relationship that you were talking about, like there's a part that feels that you're deserving of that. And we all do that, is like, I'm deserving of a partner that doesn't truly see me. I'm deserving of a partner that doesn't truly hear me. And like what you express with your dad. And that is like what we experience as children, is that there's this part of us that doesn't feel deserving of what we truly desire, what our ultimate passion is. And so that's a giant part of the healing process too.
Exactly. And also what was interesting is we're like attract these partners and we feel like pull to them because it's like mirroring our wounds, right? So like until I learned that lesson, I'm like attracted to that type of relationship over and over again because our soul is like calling in the lesson constantly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like our higher self, you could call it, calls these, like our higher self is continuously guiding us through this life. And so it's going to call in those relationships that are here to heal you and help heal you. And then it's ultimately your choosing to do the healing in that. And then if you don't, the higher self is like, okay, you didn't learn in that one. Well, here's the next one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's when you get like and that's why it is good to date, because then you can start to see your patterns. Like, okay, I've attracted 3 emotionally unavailable men. There's something going on here.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, so it's crazy because there's so many people that go single for so long, fearful of getting in a relationship, but it really does teach you a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, relationships of any sort are our ultimate teacher because it's on a very esoteric level. Like if I am one with the infinite creator, I am one with source. That means that every single thing is. So I need to get into relationships with myself in a way to learn myself. If I stay alone, then I don't get to truly learn myself. So it's just, like staying, I mean, there are times to do like the celibacy and stay single for a long time. So you can have some time to like really get to know yourself, and you are going to truly get to know yourself by experiencing yourself and another human being in a relationship.
It's so true. I always look at the celibacy part as like clearing your energy and getting like one with like what you really want and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is healthy for people to learn how to be alone.
Yeah.
Or not be fearful of it. But then it makes sense that like, unless you're reflecting someone off of you, you might think like, oh, I'm great. I'm healed. I'm good. Like there's nothing wrong with me. And then you meet someone else and they're like, you're a little selfish, or you're, you know, you don't make me feel like safe with you or whatever. And you're like, really? I'm this way? And then you like reflect these parts of you. You're like, really? And you have to like question things and start to learn yourself.
Yeah.
Otherwise you would never know because you're like, I'm fine with me.
I know that for myself. Like before my current relationship, I was in like a very aligned place and felt really good with myself. And then I got into the relationship and I was like, holy shit, there's so much more. And that's just, I mean, that's always going to be the case. Yeah. And then it's just having that partner that like will truly meet you in that, so you guys can like do this dance of life together.
Would you say that those people are your soulmates? Do you believe in soulmates?
I do believe in soulmates. I do believe that we have like other souls that we choose to come into life with. I do believe, like talking about what we started with, like choosing our parents, like we chose our parents. We like have these agreements before we come into this life. We have like our soul families, and we're like, we're going to go into this life. You're going to teach me this. I'm going to teach you that. And so, we have that with our partners as well, of like, we're going to go into this life. You're going to choose to help me with this, I'm going to choose to help you with that. And so you could call that, your soulmate.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool thought. Okay, so you also have content about how our traumas, which sometimes I like to use past pains because some people think they don't have trauma, but how it's shaping 95% of our lives, right?
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So, well, we have our subconscious mind, and then we have our conscious mind. Our subconscious mind dictates 95% of our reality. And so the subconscious mind is built upon your nervous system, your body, your somatic body, which soma is of the body. And that reflects to us what, is in our reality. And so subconscious mind is where your traumas, your beliefs, your patterns, all of those things get held. And so that is reflecting the reality that you see in front of you back to you. So if you have toxic relationships, dis-ease in your body, migraines, your job isn't working out, it's all created from the subconscious. And that the subconscious is talking to the conscious mind, which causes your thoughts and feelings and all of that. So your reality, your reality can be created from trauma if you choose to live from that place and you choose to act from old patterns and old behaviors. And if you choose to do your healing work and overcome your trauma, then it can reflect a really beautiful reality back to you with relationships that do serve you, with a career that really lights you up. It's just the place that you choose to live from.
How do people know when something's coming up from like a past trauma or something that's limiting them? Like for an example, how would you find out like, oh, okay, this is something I need to work on? Like what's an example of that for people that are listening?
Yeah, it's a great question. I know that for me now, like it's really something that I welcome. They come up in all moments. It's like just having an awareness of it in a way of like, oh, I see what this is. I see that this is here for me to look at and heal. You'll truly know it within your body. Like when you feel that something is coming up, something feels a little bit off, you feel a little bit tense. Like that's a lot of the work that I do with my clients is just our ultimate, like one of our goals is to come into ultimate coherence. When I'm in coherence, that means that my nervous system is regulated. I'm in a grounded state. I'm really present. A lot of people live their lives outside of their bodies, like not fully. This is the human incarnation. Many people aren't incarnated fully into their bodies. And so with that, I want to explain this in a way that like people can really understand. With the incarnation and with the body, anywhere that there is trauma, where there is places where there's incoherence, that is going to be reflected to you. And so with clients and the people that I work with, we look at those as like contractions. And so any place that feels a little bit off, a little bit tense, that is where there's incoherence and where we can invite ourselves into feeling those things. And as we feel them, that's what allows trauma to release out of our body. And then that affects our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind becomes clearer, then our reality becomes a much better place to live in.
Yeah, that's so powerful. I've been doing EMDR.
Oh, yeah.
Is it similar to like it's somatic healing, right?
Yeah, that's a form of somatic healing.
Yeah. Which one do you do?
The way that I work with my clients is breath, and it's called DBR, which is deep brain reorienting. So you're like focusing on spaces within your body that you feel like a contraction. Like I have pain in my shoulder. I have this tension in my temple, and like focusing on that direct place where the contraction is. And then there's some memory, and then that triggers an emotion. And that's the healing that I take people through. It's so cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. And so that's what you would recommend to people listening. They're like, okay, I know that these things are maybe limiting me. And an example of something that could be limiting you is like, something happens and then you react to it, or you feel sadness coming over you, and it's just like pausing for a moment and being like, what is making me sad? Because we don't want to look at that. We'll just be like, let me put TV on, or
Yep.
let me call a friend. Just ignore it. But it's just like being okay to kind of sit with you.
Yeah.
And that's what stores all these emotions, right? Is not facing it. It's just storing it, putting it.
Exactly.
And then it kind of goes into back pains. I still need to figure out my back pain one day.
Yeah.
But back pains, like all these different things, right? That
Yeah.
then trickle to dis-ease is disease, right? Like disease in the body.
Yeah.
So it's all stored emotions.
Yeah, it's stored emotions, it's traumas, we've grown up in a society where we never felt truly safe to express our emotions. So that's why when something comes up, it's like, ooh, let me put that down. Let me not feel that, because it's not safe. And it's a lot of like inner child work, is that the inner child didn't feel safe to feel their emotions growing up, didn't have parents around them that were emotionally available. So a child grows up in a space of like, I have all these emotions, but he doesn't feel them, she doesn't feel them, they don't feel them. So it's not safe for me to feel this. So let me just bottle this down. And so that's a big part of our healing, is that giving ourselves permission to be able to feel.
Wow, that's crazy. That's all we got to do. I was going to say something too. Oh yeah, my sister always says this, which I love. Like we'll see, like, people get a lot older and have like pains and arthritis or certain things when they're older. My sister always says this to me, that she'll be like, well, we're releasing traumas, so we're going to be fine. And do you believe that? Like if you're constantly releasing these traumas, that you're going to overall live a much healthier life, like physically, and have a much more well-being long term?
Yeah. And I think over time we can truly choose where we like place our focus. And so A Course in Miracles, Return to Love, Marianne Williamson explains this all just very well, is that we always have a choice. We have the choice to look at, act from a place of love or fear. And so over time, like it's what way do we look at the traumas? Do we like welcome it and we're like, oh, amazing, thank you for showing yourself? Or is it like, it's darkness and pain and all that? That's kind of more of from a fearful place. So yeah, I wish there was even a new word to like describe trauma, because we have like a connotation of it.
Exactly.
But yeah, over
I've been
time,
calling it past pains.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Lighter.
Yeah. Like if we can just welcome, more so look at it as like your next growth or your next evolution, or
Yeah,
like your
it's exciting.
Yeah, your next thing that's like it's just a pattern, and so you can just look at it as that. Yeah.
I was noticing too that, and I don't know why this is, but every time I get in a breakup and it's kind of like I'm hurt by it or heartbroken, I have like my biggest upcome. Like I shoot up always after it.
Yeah.
Why would you think that is?
Yeah.
Like sometimes someone's like biggest downfall can like spark a whole new.
Yeah. Things have to contract in order to expand. And so that's like what life is like, you have a contraction and you go here and then you expand, and then you have a contraction that was at that old expansion point, and then you expand, and then you have a contraction and then you expand more.
Yeah.
And so that is what happens in that. And it has a lot to do with like love in your heart, and the heart is the seat of the soul. So like the heart breaks and you have this like big downfall, but then as you work through that, you expand even more, and now I have a greater capacity for love in my life. And so that's what's happening. That's why a lot of people have like their biggest business breakthroughs after a breakup, or like the song goes viral after the breakups, because you contracted and then you expanded.
Yeah. And then also probably getting things that are not in alignment in a way, right? Because you're not like almost like transitioning into a new path.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why it's sometimes so important for people when something is not meant for you to not like try to hold on to it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big aspect of it. A lot of people don't want to do that because it's like, that is safe. That is what I know. And I don't want to let go of that. Like, I'm scared to let go of that. I'm scared to evolve into the next thing. But like we said in the beginning, that is truly what we're meant to do, is to have our next evolution.
What made you get into all this or even care about all this stuff? Especially, I always get excited when I meet men that are doing this work because it's more rare.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it truly feels like something that I don't really have a choice. It's like, this is what I'm meant to do, and this is what just flows through me and what I speak about. Like, it just feels like there is something that is guiding me, and then I'm just the vessel that speaks it. And yeah, there's definitely resistance to that, and like my mind my human trying to comprehend like what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And it's just having like ultimate trust and surrender that this is the path that I'm meant to lead in my life. And I know that I can surrender and trust more into that. And I mean, what ultimately got me into this is I can see that there was always an inkling towards like spirituality and talking about this and looking at the world in a different way than others did. My mom was pretty spiritual growing up, but I had like a moment when I was 24, I was successful, had a health and wellness business. I had a big following at the time in a different realm. And I just was dealing with like an autoimmune condition, depression, anxiety, and then just got to a place in my life where I wasn't sure if I wanted to live anymore. And then I had a life coach that got me to look in a new aspect. I started getting into breath work. I had a really powerful plant medicine ceremony, and then that just like really changed the trajectory of my life.
Yeah, it just like called you and you're like, oh, and once you're in it, it's like I almost feel bad for people that aren't, because I'm like, the world is so amazing once you start realizing how it all comes together. And that's why it's truly my favorite topic to talk about with people. I'm like, isn't it wild how much is happening for us, not against us? Yeah, it's so cool. So, what is something you're learning currently that you're like really excited about, or is there any new thoughts that you've had that you're like, oh, this is an interesting perspective on life? Or
the places I go are quite interesting when I have time for myself. Like even on the plane last night. I'm challenging all the narratives that our world is run by, even in spirituality, and like choosing to look at things in a completely new way. Like, is there truly an ego, or is it just something that we've developed to believe over time that we have? And is it really just this path of away from God, away from love that we call the ego? Like, is that truly it? And so, yeah, it's like,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool thought.
Yeah. So I'm just like challenging all these narratives. I mean, I learn a lot about consciousness through like the law of Whan and Course of Miracles. Those are things that I'm excited to learn more about. But my biggest teacher is just like the next moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you good at keeping yourself pretty present? You seem like it.
I try my best.
Yeah. What are some things you do to try to stay present and ground yourself?
Breath.
Just breath work.
Yeah. Breath is the number one thing. And then just even being aware of your breath in each moment.
Yeah, I need to do that more.
Yeah. Like breath is the only thing that connects us on a mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical level. So it connects all of our bodies together. And so if I'm in tune with my breath, that means I'm in tune with my consciousness and my awareness. When I lose my breath, there's a good quote, like, your breath will run your mind, or your mind will run your breath.
Wow, that's true.
So if you're in tune with your breath, you're present, you're focused, you're here, you're in your body. Mm-hmm. If you're not in tune with your breath, then you're not in your body, you're up here somewhere.
Mm-hmm. What is one breath or body practice that instantly grounds you? Like, how do you go about it?
Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Really, all you need is 3 breaths.
Okay.
Beautiful things happen in 3s. And so, okay, let's just go into it.
Okay.
You can close your eyes for a moment. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take 3 breaths. We're just going to have a nice inhale through the nose, hold at the moment for a top, and then a long exhale out through the mouth. So just let your current breath fall out. And then take a nice breath in through the nose. Hold. Exhale it out through the mouth. Another one. Inhale in through the nose. Hold. Exhale out through the mouth. Beautiful. One more in through the nose. Hold. Out through the mouth. Beautiful. You can come back. You can already feel the shift in energy.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just right away feel more present.
Mm-hmm.
And not so much in your head.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is big.
Yeah, the breath gets us out of our head.
Do you meditate a lot?
No.
Wow, I'm surprised. Wow.
Like I'll have moments where in days sometimes where like I truly just sit in meditation and stillness.
Mm-hmm.
But energy wants to be moved.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I'm just sitting there trying to not think and focus on my thoughts, that's not truly what my body wants.
Mm.
What my body wants is to feel and to move out anything that's incoherent. And so there's going to be constant things that are not in coherence within us. We take a lot in from our environment. There's things within us throughout our days. And so I spend way more time doing breath than I do sitting in meditation. I do breath every single day, but I'll like after finishing the breath, I'll sit in the stillness and just be in the peace. But no, I don't spend that much time meditating. I breathe more. I take more walks. I spend time in nature.
Yeah, I was going to say there's all like, and that's why it's so important to figure out what works for you. Because some people like their life has changed from meditation. Some people can't get into it at all. And I've heard that there's like different forms of the same feeling you can get from meditation, which is like going on a walk, doing breath work. Like these other things can bring you the same experience or same level of calmness that meditation could, just finding out what actually aligns with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I know meditation is something that's transformative for people, and I do believe though that like you need to be able, you're not going to be able to be in a place where you're in stillness and quiet. Like you're not going to find that place if you don't feel.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like the feeling is what brings us into the peace and into the stillness. It's like the other side of the contraction that is felt. And so that's why I always, like with people that I work with, it's always starting with breath and getting them to be in tune with their body and the emotions first.
So when they're like breathing into like a pain in their body, you're just like, because I only know EMDR, so like when I'm doing it, they make us tap. But for you, it's like the breathing and then you're focusing in on that area.
Yeah, and so it's, you might need to shake, you might need to cry, you might need to scream, you might need to punch something. These are the emotions that our body holds. And so, yeah, it's just letting the body express in the way that it desires to. Our bodies are much more intelligent than our minds are.
I've done a release of my TMJ, which I talked about on a previous episode, by doing that, like just focusing in on it and finding out like what did it want me to know, this pain in my jaw, and I haven't had it since. So I've seen myself that it works. So I'm like, people need to come see you if they have any things like that. It's crazy because you go to doctors, people start wearing the inserts in their mouth to bed. It's like wild. It's all like you just need to process whatever emotion that you've been holding on to.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's we live in a society where we treat the symptoms rather than just like, oh, I just need to feel what this is. My body is speaking to me.
You're so amazing. Thank you for coming. I want you to tell everyone where they can find you and then how they can come see you.
Yeah. I mean, the best place to find me is on my Instagram or YouTube. It's just Jake Whan. And then where I teach all of this is a space called Ascension University, which is on a platform called School. So people can go and check that out. And then, on my Instagram, you can find where I do retreats and workshops and all that.
So cool. I like
Yeah.
that name too. It's a cool name.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Please comment, let me know what parts you loved the most, and tell me what you want me to speak about next. I read them all, I respond to you all, and please subscribe. This means the most to me to come on here each week and connect with you all. I love you so much, and as you know, I come back every week, so I'll see you soon.